Well, the weather's been beautiful here in sunny Maryland, so I thought I'd get another one of these hikes in and tell you another sad story about an American who was shot and killed by police, this time in Seneca, South Carolina. Now, this happened back in 2015, sometime before police shootings were the talk of the town. You know, this was back, maybe around the time that Trayvon Martin was killed, but not quite yet in the era of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Duncan Lemp. And I don't think this story really got much steam back when it happened. It was a young man named Zachary Hammond who was 19 years old at the time. And the story goes that he was driving his 2001 Honda Civic with a passenger, a girl that I believe he was dating, and they had stopped at the parking lot of a Hardee's restaurant in Seneca and were waiting to sell some weed, from what I understand. And his passenger was the subject of an undercover operation by the Seneca police to find and charge drug dealers. And what she didn't realize is that she had been texting with an undercover police officer about this cannabis sale that she intended to make. There was another police officer by the name of Mark Tiller, who was undercover at the time in an unmarked vehicle, not in uniform. He was armed, and I suppose he had, a single light on his car to indicate that he was a police officer. But other than that, it was unmarked. And Mark Tiller showed up as backup for this particular police officer that she had been communicating with. And when Tiller arrived, he pulled his car up behind Zachary's and attempted to make the arrest. Zachary panicked and tried to drive away. Mark Tiller ran to the car, and this is all on dash cam, which has been released. It was released a few months after the incident. Interestingly enough, it was released just after they decided that they would not be pressing charges, not before. But the dash cam video shows that Officer Tiller fired 2 rounds through the open driver's side window of the car as Zachary attempted to flee. The police report then states that Tiller believed his life was in danger. But of course, we don't really have any evidence to suggest that's the case. And from the video, it appears that he is, in fact, quite ready to engage with the driver of the vehicle. He doesn't appear to show any signs whatsoever of being in fear of that vehicle. And nevertheless, of course, you leave it to the government of Seneca, South Carolina, to take the side of the police officer, which is in fact what happened. And so Zachary Hammond is shot twice, once in the chest and once in the shoulder, and dies with his passenger still in the car next to him. A 23-year-old woman whose only crime is trying to sell marijuana to a police officer. And it's a sad story. This kid, 19 years old, 121 pounds, very much a child in many ways. He's now dead. He had no criminal record that I'm aware of. There was this strange claim after the fact that cocaine was found on his body. I don't believe that they ever tested his body to see if he in fact had any in his system. There was a lawsuit later filed by the family claiming that had been planted, which, given the circumstances, given the this kid's story and his family and everything, I tend to believe. But nevertheless, he was never charged with a crime. And, so he is dead. And, over something, by the way, if you want to talk about what the police were there for, they were there for cannabis. So did they find cannabis? They did, in fact. From what I understand, they found something like less than 2 grams, which, if you're not familiar with marijuana, is enough to roll maybe a joint, maybe 2 joints, So you could get high a handful of times from that much weed. And of course, it's legal in many places now. I don't think it's legalized in South Carolina yet. But this kid was killed over something that millions of people around the world, across the United States, do every single day. And I find it to be a shame that so many of the stories that get boosted into the media are in defense of people like George Floyd, who did have a violent criminal record. And stories like the one about Mark Tiller's very explicit murder of Zachary Hammond go unnoticed. So, one of the things that I want to do with my music, with my skill set, is to highlight things that I believe deserve more attention. And so I hope you'll stick around for a song that I wrote a couple of years ago about that particular incident and the person and the people that it affected. And the song is called Peppermint, because I read an article about a neighbor of Zachary's who remembered him as the kid who would come by and always take a peppermint candy from, the glass bowl she had in her living room or whatever. So I thought it was an appropriate title for a song about this poor kid and his family. Hope you enjoy.
Hey Mom, I know it's late. I just wanted to let you know that I'm okay. Feel free to go to bed. I know I let you down. I just wanted to say that I'm gonna make it through like back in the day. when I was a kid. All fun and games. What's with the gun? What did I do this time? How am I to live if it's all such a crime? A couple of grams in the car. He was a good kid, just made some enemies. He took them for a spin. They took him for gravity. You say you were afraid. How can you leave it out? You'd never let someone take someone from you without a good fight. What would you do? What's with the gun? What did he do this time? How are we to live if it's all such a crime? What had he done? Who would he be by now if he'd listen to you or he'd listen to me? Remember the time you threw some trash on the ground and the cops came and arrested you? Look at them reeling now. Your death is a wake up to all whoever doubted you. All of the big lies, all the convenient excuses and apologies. No one deserves to die for your disease. What's with the gun? What did I do this time? How am I to live if it's all such a crime? What did I do this time? Who would I be by now if you'd have left us alone?